Welcome back. It's a Sunday. It's time to wind down, try and enjoy ourselves before the week ahead of us, which means aliens and ghosts and trouble ahoy. DanDaDan is nothing if not explicitly entertaining, with the added fright and fear of losing one's crown jewels. Okadun has had better days, but at least he's made a friend. Although I'm not sure about their family cat. So, DanDaDan, I'm not going to turn away from it, so let's sit down and get ready for the next episode. But before that, welcome to the new Starler channel. You may notice some links have disappeared. Yeah, about that. I'm sure you can find the anime for yourself, and if not, head on over to my Patreon. It's the way it has to be. But for now, get a drink, and let's begin. So, what you're saying is there's a easy way of finding them, but a gleaming golden ball of about 5 centimeters. That would be worth something. Yeah, let's hope no one else grabs them. Huh. So they'll be facing spirits of unimaginable temptation for these bulls. Who knew that he was so full of life? I'm glad that he joined in with this beating, considering what he's lost. Really? This is the worst thing that's happened to you? Nope. But is anyone else going to have stumbled across them instead of Yokai? Also, what is her hoodie? Because I quite like it. See if I can find a version for myself. And the fact that you do have Turbo Granny now living in a different body, just kind of hanging around at their house. Oh, now they're interested in talking to him. We've seen you hanging around with her. And yet has never had the temptation to talk to her himself. Wait, really? He was too ingrained into the friend thing to think even any further beyond that, let alone who he's talking to. Excuse me. I see, the all-famous rumours. What has got him all hot and bothered here? Is he about to flip everything? You know, what every high school student wishes. A way to turn tables on those that speak ill of people you care about. Also, the fact that I'm pretty sure no one else can actually see this transformation other than us. And him. How did he suddenly get such immense grip strength? And then back off and run away as though nothing happened. Just get back into reading. Fancy seeing you here. Why is she in his bag? I think I saw someone go past. Yeah, Has she got a visitor's badge? So she took that literally. Roam free. I see. Probably not too much anymore. This is a tempting offer, yes, especially with that smile. How radiant. I mean, yeah, it needs that first. Otherwise, that. After the conversation he just had in the classroom, is it? After the conversation he had in the class, is he going to be able to think straight? Release himself of this conversation? He may have lost his balls, but there are other bits that are still working, remember? It's gaining on us! Well, isn't there always something going on since I've been talking the past few days? I mean, considering most of the class of people that she talked to before, but still, actually hearing it even secondhand that he stood up for her honour. Also, I wonder who this someone is. Considering characters that we've seen so far, I've got one in my mind. One that might be nursing a sore head. And yet she still refers to them as blockheads. How kind. However, there also seems to be those that are fighting back against such rumours with gusto. A demon. My next question was going to be, is it metaphorical, her words? These wings only had 5 feathers. Was she able to see them after being had that washpan dropped on her? Is that how we can gain psychic powers? If that is the case, I'll be back in a second. And of course, Teen Dharma. A gift to help her change the world, one perfect as her. The greatest reason as any is to put yourself in harm's way, I guess. I mean, if the beautiful aren't going to change the world, who is? I was talking about DanDaDan, I guess, rather than thinking about it. And it was mentioned that considering that this was kind of classic kind of shonen show, big fight scenes and energy and fun and whatnot, Okarun kind of took the back seat as the main character in the first few episodes. You got Momo really handling pretty much everything by herself, which comparatively to other shows isn't really common at all. And if you got her with spiritual powers, they ring. God, it's like a... Oh God, I'm getting Chainsaw Man flashbacks. Hearing the sound of ringing from heaven. Oh, I see. The way of merging it all together and what happens. All we need is the train, flash of light, and we know exactly why the balls were lost. What a pretty sight, if you did know the meaning behind them. What is with that both transition and kind of creepiness factor? Oily cross with a crack through the middle. Please don't tell me that she's going to become some sort of demon-fighting magical girl. Yeah, has anyone treated her for a concussion? Back, foul demon! I see, there are a few that she's comfortable acting like that in front. However, keeping her place in the school and everyone under her thumb is taking centre stage. Now that Turbo Granny has seen that there's some oddness going on, is she going to intervene at any point or just make things worse? Oh. You know, I would want, out of many of Japanese foods, like fried noodle sandwiches or a roll is something that I want. Back for round 2. Also, the fact that he's holding her back, not only holding like that, but with the collar of the cat. Big! I mean, we've seen that to be true, so... Would that also mean that there are spirits that are now drawn to this human who picked up the ball? Ah, I looked into the void and it looked back through me. Of course, yeah. It can wait, even though spirits and whatnot might be able to... Don't fiddle with your balls while in class. A lesson for us now and for the show. Oh, the colour shifting. Knowing what we know it to mean, like with Turbo Granny having red and the aliens, Sopians, being blue. That was more of a... that was more of a saturated purpley pink violet kind of thing. Nothing bad could happen here. Good. Now that they're alone, he can Turbo Granny can actually tell him. So, by the way, that was the one who picked it up and could see spirits and the like. Good takedown, even like 2-on-1. They did it fairly flawlessly. Zip ties as well. Who would have thought that a place like this is so close to the school grounds? Suddenly defying the laws of gravity and the fact that only two of them here could see what has happened. And how are you going to use such a ball? Hopefully that's not in her mouth. Just... yeah. Can you stop rubbing it all over her face? She received it alright, but didn't really come with an instruction manual. And the fact that she's immediately sung so gung-ho that she's the saviour of everything speaks a lot to her character, as we saw before. She was like a narcissist then, thinking, oh, she can make the world better. Quick. I wish I couldn't. Do you want to get some blood tests done? What kind of family tree is this? The sound work. Also, the fact that they could react to that. Got some fancy moves. I'm not sure what style it is. Some sort of like flamenco dancer type thing. Oh, great. You've got some vor going on. Instead of pulling his leg and tearing him in twine, you're about opening the jaw. Saw it before, I think, with the Flatwoods monster, but knocking herself out of the way with the hands is such a good use of the powers. You've just worked that out. The spin like a music box ballerina. I mean, just get you out of immediate danger, then sure. How dare they interfere? Oh, that was a sudden side shift. Where'd you get that phone? Acrobatic Silky. She could deal with staying off her phone for a little bit. Cool. Now, is there a section that says weaknesses? Only it's when Turbo Granny actually knows about the spirit they're facing. That's when we need to be scared. Maybe don't aggravating it. aggravate it while it was saying that it was your mother. Did that need the immediate punishment of lunch? Just a powerless little cat right now. Bit difficult right now. Giggle. The fact that it is, you know, using the hair like this so we can have some cool scenes and shit. I've seen spirits and the like which throughout different folklores that have that kind of skill and power. Also in Freedom, I think, where there was someone that could use hair. Okay, so it doesn't care who, as long as someone calls the mother. I don't think she's got it phonetically correct. Gonna get some grand indigestion with that big meal. I do not want to know the origins of that spirit if that's what she then just says. Now that they have been so easily beaten, that's when Turbogony can turn on and be like, okay, now, come on. Die, senpai. And boy, is it our lucky day. What? Why is its own hair? It's... Oh, okay, so the crackdown, it was just a flip lighter. Got it. Hair... this place must smell awful. Burning hair is not nice. Blech. Don't act all triumphant as though she did something other than put the lighter in her hands before she was eaten. At least Turbo Granny got the last laugh, kind of cool line in. The kind of unfortunate circumstances where they're now forced comrades in order to reattain her power and for Okarun to get his balls back. The unlikely alliance. But yeah, seeing what we saw before with Turbogani actually caring about the less fortunate, the spirits of the girls that met their end. There is some good in this jaded yokai. Do you think we'll get the little side piece of her friend looking for her phone that was stolen? A good episode, I think. Having a character that was already so high and mighty, we saw their way of thinking before. It's like, well, you know, someone needs to talk to people like that. Now, getting the power and the will and the mindset to take on the world for the better, make things so perfect. Then get her ass rightfully handed to her, and realise, oh, hang on a second, it's not quite as clear-cut as that. Maybe she can work with the plebeians. But yeah, some very surface-level thinking. Get across, doesn't matter what type or how it's made or if it's a lighter. As long as it's a cross, that will work on pretty much anything. I read it on the internet. How many kind of internet theories and folklore tales are actually going to turn up to be true to some degree? I have always thought, why are vampires terrified of crosses? Considering the origin doesn't really have much cross point with Christianity as far as I'm aware. And that goes for other things like salt. Why is that a usual use case for warding off spirits? The case of standing up to others, making a stance like Okudun going to all depresso mode and protecting the identity and honour of his friend. It was good to see. Good that it also kind of stopped and ended there before anything happened. And usually how things go in this is bullying happens, teachers turn a blind eye. The underdog stands up for themselves, all sirens blare. At least that's my kind of experience of high school. But the characters that we've got here and their interplay, you've got the somewhat kind of nerdy straight man of Okudun trying to keep things somewhat on the level while also being almost Scooby-Doo era kind of coward about everything. Counterpoint by the strong personality of Momo. If they also now add into this kind of princess character of high and mighty, everything is set for her kind of way, I wonder how that is going to kind of tangle with them. I'm guessing she's going to have to meet the grandmother at some point, considering she can see spirits, at least this spirit. And why has it been following her for 10 years? And why did it want her to call her mother? And how did she see it when she was a child before it had all sorts of power? A lot of questions that don't know if need to be answered, but would be interesting. And how many people in this world can actually have some sort of spiritual connectivity or connection without having to be a medium? And now, we just completely forget about the other side of the coin of aliens and the Midwest of America. I think those are most of the incidents and reports take place. But I did state that the colour work in this once again showing through and being quite forefront and quite nice, being able to see exactly when and where things kind of shift. Not only just keep things a little more interesting visually, but also really defines the power play and what's at stake and who's involved. As soon as we see some red reappearing, we know we need to be cautious of Turbo Granny again. Make sure the cat hasn't regained too much power. But on that point, colour work isn't the only thing here that I think is quite good. Animation style just in itself, just some of the things that were at play, like with her being dragged through the building by her neck and head. There were some camera cuts and whatnot that weren't necessary for the scene, but were very much appreciated because they added a little more extra context and style and flair to it. And the less I say about that spirit's dance routine and the... I don't know, were they pirouettes? I'm not a master on the art of dance, you may be aware. But yeah, the athletic spirit, one that doesn't really bear much thinking about, considering he's only a lesser nobody. One that can be set on fire. You know, I've learned something today. Whether you're scared of ghosts or not, always carry a lighter. Never know when it'll become in handy. But that is our tale for now, I guess. How long is it going to be? Is Ocarina going to get his ball back? Is she going to be easily just going to part way with it? So this was a gift from the heavens, one that has helped me to... actually, it didn't really do much. It just made me act like a tool, and my friends questioned my sanity. Hopefully, yeah, though it wasn't... The other one wasn't found by another human who just thought, big gold ball? Wonder how much I can get for this. Wonder what purity of gold it was. In which case, quite a lot of money. Yep. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Whether or not my spiel and ramble entertained you, you have to be seen. If it did, let me know. If it didn't, keep it to yourself. If there is anything I can do to do better, let me know down below as well. But for now, subscribe to the channel to see more. Consider joining onto my Discord for notifications and fun and bad memes. But for now, get yourself some rest so that I can see you bright and early for the next one. I really must thank each and every one of you for sticking around this long. If it wasn't for my patrons, I'd still be out there searching for the balls of my channel. Not big and golden, but rather shriveled and unkempt. But thanks to Sal, Aegis TR, Guado, Kite, Ultra Boring, Wolfie Sensei, Zug, and everyone else. Although it may not be a calling from heaven, this channel actually has a direction to go.